All right, so at this point, we've identified the main driver behind the revenue decline. Revenue dropped because traffic dropped. That's already a useful finding. If your manager asks why revenue is down, you can now say that the issue is related to traffic rather than conversion rate or average order value. But we can make the answer even more specific. We know traffic is the problem. Now let's figure out where that traffic decline is coming from. Remember the model we introduced earlier. If traffic drops, it's usually an acquisition problem. If conversion rate drops, it's usually a funnel efficiency problem. If average order value drops, it's usually a monetization problem. Since traffic is the driver that changed, our investigation now shifts toward acquisition. And fortunately, we have more information available in the dataset. We have performance broken down by channel. Let's use that. We'll go back to our pivot table. Before adding new dimensions, first, copy the percentage calculations. Then use paste special values only. This converts the formulas into static values so they won't be affected when we modify the pivot table. Now let's continue. We'll drag channel into the rows section. We'll keep the same metrics. Then we'll compare February against January exactly as we did before. We'll calculate the percentage change for each metric. Once we do that, we get the following results. At first glance, you might notice that organic revenue is down and sessions are down as well. So there is definitely some weakness there, but look at paid. Revenue declined much more sharply, and sessions show a very similar pattern. Meanwhile, conversion rate remains relatively stable, and average order value only changed slightly. That's a very different magnitude. Notice that both channels declined, but most of the revenue loss is coming from paid. That's where we should focus first. Now we can give a much more specific answer. Instead of saying revenue is down 50%, we can say revenue is down primarily because traffic declined. After breaking traffic down by channel, we found that paid traffic dropped significantly, while conversion rate and average order value remained relatively stable. This suggests the issue is related to customer acquisition rather than conversion or pricing. So what happens next? We'd share these findings with the marketing team. Maybe a major ad campaign was paused. Maybe advertising budgets were reduced, or maybe a traffic source stopped performing. We don't know the exact cause yet, but we've narrowed the investigation dramatically. Instead of looking across the entire business, we're focusing on one specific area, paid acquisition. So let's quickly recap what we accomplished. We started with a revenue decline and no explanation. We broke revenue into its three drivers: traffic, conversion rate, and average order value. Then we measured each one. We found that traffic was the only driver showing a major decline. And finally, we traced that decline to the paid channel. That's the power of breaking a business problem into smaller components. Instead of guessing, we followed the data. And step by step, the problem became much easier to understand. If some of the spreadsheet formulas, pivot tables, or calculations felt challenging, don't worry. Inside the platform, you'll find foundational courses that teach spreadsheets and data analysis step by step. The goal here isn't to memorize formulas. The goal is to learn how analysts approach business problems. And honestly, once you're comfortable with spreadsheets, you'll probably start using AI tools as part of your workflow too. For example, you could upload this dataset and use a prompt like, "The attached dataset contains daily marketing performance data. Compare January and February and identify which factor contributed most to the revenue decline. Calculate sessions, conversion rate, and average order value by month. Then break the analysis down by channel and explain your findings." Tools like Claude can help accelerate calculations and summaries, but the important part is knowing what questions to ask. The tool can calculate the metrics, but you still need to decide which metrics matter. And that's why learning the fundamentals is so important. Because great analysts don't just use tools. They know how to structure problems, interpret results, and turn data into decisions.